Dear students, welcome back to CLE'S Science online class. I hope you all are absolutely fine and doing well at your home. Dear students, in last class we are learning about the claws of a birds. So just dear students, let's recall what we have learned in the last class. Then we are going to concentrate that how birds fly. Okay, so dear students, now just recall the things. We are going to start here now. Dear students, the claws are nothing but the legs of the birds. Okay, so different birds have different kinds of the claws. So here the first type we have learned yesterday, that is the flesh eating birds. Flesh eating birds like eagles and the vultures, they have very sharp claws. Which type of claws they have? They have very sharp claws. So the question can be asked, what do you mean by talons? So talons are nothing but the flesh eating birds, eagles and the vultures have very sharp claws known as the talons. Okay, so this is the first type of the birds we have learned in the last class. Next we have learned about the perching birds. Perching birds are nothing but what are the examples of the perching birds? They are like a sparrows, mynas, crows and the finches. Which type of claws they have? They have three front toes. Okay, so in the front side how many fingers, or you can say in the toes part how many fingers they have? They have a three front toes and one toe in the back side. So these are the perching birds. Okay, next bird we are going to learn here, that is the scratching birds. What do you mean by scratching birds? Birds like a hens, roosters, they have very sharp claws. Which type of claws they have? They have very sharp claws, so that help them to scratch. Okay, to scratch the ground. Ground means where they are standing, they are scratching the part of the ground. So in this way they are laying the eggs, they are buried the insects and the worms and the seeds from the ground and they are eating. So the claws are helping them to scratch the ground. So these are the example of scratching birds. Next we have learned in the climbing birds. What do you mean by the climbing birds? They can climb the tree. Where what do you mean by the climbing? Climbing is nothing but the climbing the tree. So climbing birds are nothing but the birds like a woodpeckers, parakeets are climbing birds. These are the example of climbing birds. They have which type of toes they have? They have a two front toes. So in the front side how many toes they have? They have two front toes and two back toes. So the front toes point upward while the back toes points downward. So this is the upward part and this is the downward part. So these are the example of climbing birds. Next we have learned, that is the swimming birds. Okay, which type of birds it is? It is a swimming bird. So water birds such as ducks, swans have webbed feet and they help them to swim in the water. So you can see here uh, it's like a webbed structure. So it is nothing but the three toes. Okay, how many toes are there? 1 2 3. The three toes in the front. And how they are joined this front? That is these toes are joined by the a thin layer of the skin. Okay, so this is nothing but the forming a web. So this web is helps to push water back while swimming. So swimming birds are nothing but the swan and ducks. So these are the example of swimming birds. Okay, and last we have learned, that is the wading birds. What do you mean by wading birds? So these birds can wade through muddy water. Okay, so in the muddy water they can walk easily. Okay, so how they can walk easily? Because they have which type of structure? So they have stalks, have long legs. Okay, so which type of legs they have? They have very strong long legs along with the spread out toes. Spread out toes means what you can observe here, the toes are not joined together. So in the all the direction the toes are there. So in this way these wading birds can run easily in the muddy water without getting drenched. Okay, without getting drenched. So these are the examples of the claws of the birds. Now it's time to learn how the birds can fly. Okay, so dear students, let's recall the things. So dear students, the question we have that how birds fly. So dear students, you can observe here how the body of the bird is designed. Okay, so you can observe here the body of the bird is designed like a boat. Which type of shape it have? It's have like a boat. So the body of a bird is designed in a such a way that it can fly easily. So God has given the creation about the birds, and which type body they have? They have a boat like structure. Okay, so which shape they have? They have a shape like a boat. So this is referred as a streamlined body. So the body which have a which type of structure? They have boat like structure, and this is referred as the streamlined body. What is the spelling of streamlined? S T R E A M, stream, LINED, streamlined body. Is it? So this which type of shape they have? They have a streamlined body. So birds have a hollow bones. Which type of bones they have? Hollow bones. And what is the need of these hollow bones? This makes their body very light. Means in the body they don't have a much fat, or you can say much another part. So this have a hollow bones, and this makes their body very light. So usually you can observe here the birds are not large in size. Usually the birds have very light weight. You can take in your hand itself, and due to this lightweight, what happens? It allows them to fly for a long time. So if the body is become not heavy, so easily the birds can fly. So this is one of the answer that how birds can fly, because they have a boat like structure, or you can say stream like body. So they have a hollow bones, and with the help of this hollow bones, what happens? This makes their body very light. Okay, so due to this hollow bones, the body of the bird is very light and allows them to fly for a long time. Okay, so they can fly for a long time. With this, which type of wings they have? Let's discuss how the birds can fly. So the wings are attached to the body with the help of very strong muscles. So you can observe here, these are the wings of the bird, and these wings are attached to the body of the birds, as well as they have very strong muscles. Which type of muscles it have? It have very strong muscles. So with the help of very strong muscles, these wings are attached to the body of the birds. So in order to fly, birds move their wings in two types. So dear students, the movement of the body of the birds, if you want to check, so how many movements are there? There are two types of the movements. What are those two movements? That is the upward stroke and the downward stroke. Okay, so which type of movement they have? They have two types of the movement, that is the upward stroke and the downward stroke. So these are the answer. Okay, so if the question can be asked, what are the movements of the bird? So you have to write two types of the movements they are doing, that is the upward stroke and the downward stroke. Now let's discuss what do you mean by upstroke and the downstroke. So you can observe here the upward and the backward movement. Which type of movement? So the upward and the backward movement of the wings is called as the upstream. Okay, so here which is the upstroke? That is the upward and the backward movement. Okay, so which type of movement it is? It is a upward and backward movement. So dear students, if the question can be asked, What do you mean by the upstroke? So the upward and the backward movement of the wings is called as the upstream, or you can say upstroke. Okay, upstroke. Better you write upstroke itself. So you can see here how the birds are doing the upward and the backward direction. Is it? So now let's discuss what do you mean by the downstroke. Okay, so what do you mean by the downstroke? So the downward and the forward movements of the wings. Okay, so the downward and the forward movements of the wings is called as the downstroke. Okay, so better you just write it out. Don't write downstream, just you write as a downstroke. So don't get confused. It is the strokes of the body. So which type of movement they are doing? They are doing two types of the movement, upstroke and the downstroke. What do you mean by the upstroke? So the upward and the backward movements of the wings is called as the upstroke. And what do you mean by the downstroke? So the downward and the forward movements of the wings is called as the downstroke. And the tail of a bird, so these are the tail of the birds. Okay, tail means how the dog or any other animals have their tails. In similar way, birds also have a small tails. So the tail of the birds help us to change the direction while flying. So dear students, question can be asked, which part of the body helps to change the direction of the bird? So that is nothing but the tail. So the tail of a body, tail of a bird helps to change the direction while flying. Is it? So these are the movements of the birds. Is it? So which type of movements they are doing? They are doing two types of the movement, that is the upstroke and the downstroke. So dear students, I hope there is no confusion about how birds fly. In the next class, what we are doing? We are going to discuss the feathers of the birds. So before going to the next concept, you have one homework and you have to be complete that homework in very short time. Okay, so just take down the today's homework. So dear students, this is your checkpoint number 1, which is present on the page number 204. So you have to be complete this checkpoint 1, which is straight, true or false. So you have to be completed by tomorrow itself. In tomorrow's class, we are going to discuss the next concept. Okay, so dear students, let's meet in the next class. Have a good day. Bye bye.